Hey guys, my name's Danny. I work for Camosun Fitness and Rec. Thanks for joining us today. Today we are going to do a high intensity interval training lower body workout. So high intensity interval training basically means short little burst of high intensity training for small little intervals. So you're going to work for a bit, recover for a bit, work for a bit. That's the format of high intensity interval training. It's really good at developing a thing called EPOC, which stands for exercise post-oxygen consumption. So essentially, without getting into the science, your body metabolizes fat a little bit faster, increases your lactic threshold, and just gets you really fit. Okay, so we're gonna start this workout with a warm-up. We're gonna try to get our glutes a little bit of engaged. So basically, you're just telling your glutes, be like, hey, I'm gonna be using you today. So when you do these movements, when you do squats and lunges and things like that, you are going to be using your glutes more so than you would normally. Okay, so first one we're going to do is called a glute bridge, and we're going to do these for 30 seconds. You're going to lie on your back, hips on the ground, heels close to your butt. You're going to lift up and down. And the whole idea here is you're trying to open up through the front of your hips, squeeze your glutes, and back and forth. I have a mic on my back, so I can't go all the way down, but you'll be able to. When I go up, I really squeeze my glutes, and I like to say imagine cracking a walnut. So really, really crunch, crunch, crunch through your butt. The next one we're going to do is 30 seconds again, and it's going to be a glute march. So what it's going to look like is you're at the top of a bridge again, but this time you're going to bring one knee to your chest and then back. It's a more advanced version of a glute bridge. Every time I lift, I think about pulling my hip higher to the ceiling. And I'm trying to put all my body weight on my glutes and not my lower back. And you're going to be slow and controlled, do that for 30 seconds. The last one, it's called a split squat. And you're going to go all the way down, all the way up. Your feet stay in a fixed position. At the bottom, you should have right angles in all your knee joints. And you're going to fully extend up. I like to squeeze that glute. Hopefully you have better balance than I do. You're going to go up and down. So your torso should be vertical. Don't lean too far forward. You're going to do 45 seconds a leg. Try to distribute your weight evenly on both feet. Okay, so let's do the other leg just for good measure. Although this is the warm-up, you're probably starting to feel a little bit of a burn in your legs. All right, let's pretend that was 45. Okay, let's get into it. So this workout is comprised of 9 exercises. And you're going to go through that circuit twice, okay? Everything's about 30 seconds to 10 seconds. And I'll go demonstrate every exercise, and then you can go through it on your own. So the first one we're going to do is a body weight squat. Essentially just a squat with no weight. So you're going to have your feet hip width apart, and you're going to sit back in your hips, body weight on the middle to the back half of your foot, shoulder blades back and down, and what you're going to do is squat, back up and down. So a couple key points. You want to keep your knees tracking in the same position as your toes. So a mistake I see sometimes is people collapse in or they flare out. Just point it straight ahead. Another couple of mistakes I see people do is they'll rock onto the front of their feet and their knees will slam forward in front. And so then you don't actually have good joint angles in your knees, so it can hurt your knees, and also you won't be as strong in that position. So you want to sit back on your hips and back up. Also, if you notice my back is fairly straight, they call that a neutral position. You don't want to hunch through your back. Could increase your chance of injury, and then also just creates bad habits. All right, so you're going to do just a bodyweight squat for 30 seconds. And then once that's done, you're gonna move immediately into jump squat. So this one is just a quick little burst, 10 seconds. And you're gonna go down. Just 10 seconds of those. Basically, we're just kind of like making sure our legs are extra fatigued. If you can't do those, because not everyone's a jumper or they have injuries or whatnot, you can just go down and come up fast. And that might be a good modification for that. I know I said this is lower body workout, but sometimes you need to do what I call as active recovery. So active recovery is basically give your legs a chance to rest so you can go hard on the other stuff. So why not do some push-ups? It's a nice little replacement to get the lactic acid out of your legs. So push up. You can do it from your knees or your toes. You're doing 30 seconds of those. Remember, keep your core tight. Pivot from your ankles, your knees. Try not to move. Sink through the hips and your glutes. So don't do this or this. You want to be in a straight line. Okay? Actually, one other teaching cue is when you do a push-up, try to get that right angle in your elbow. If you can't do it right away, eventually try to work on your depth. But a lot of people just do these quarter little push-ups because the full push-up is a lot more challenging, but eventually you want to be all the way down so you have that right angle in your elbow. Speaking of active recovery, the next one, I call them YTWs. So this allows you to lower your heart rate a little bit, recover, before we go into the next high intensity. So a YTW is a stretch. So you're gonna do a Y position with your arms. We're gonna do 5 of those. What you want to focus on is keep your shoulder blades back and down. You don't want to shrug too much. Then T, so palms up. 5 of those. Keep your core tight too. And then W. So this one gives people problems sometimes. Keep your elbows together, forearms together, elbows pointing down. And you're just going to go back and forth. And the whole focus on that, or the whole purpose of us doing that, you're warming up your shoulder in overhead position, lateral position, or horizontal position, and then pointing in a down position. So once you've done that for 30 seconds or done your 5 reps in each position, you're gonna move on to the next one, which is a forward lunge. Also just a typical lunge. So you're gonna lunge forward, feet together, starting position, lunge forward, go to a 90-degree angle, both your joints, and come back. So the hardest part people have when they first start these is they lunge too short or too long. So you want to go down. So see how there's a right angle in both my knee joints? That looks good. And then you're going to power back. So if you lunge too short, it looks like that. And you can see that's just not 90 degrees, can put a lot of pressure on your knee. Or they lunge too forward and their back leg is too far back, puts too much strain on their hip flexors and they arch the lower back. May take a few moments to get the timing right. You can use a mirror if you have one. I still use the mirror all the time just to make sure my angles are right. So once you've done 30 seconds of alternating left and right forward lunges, you're going to do a jump lunge. This one's only for 10 seconds again. The jump lunge is like a regular lunge, but you jump in midair. So that one's a lot more dynamic. Get your heart rate up. That's why we're only doing it for 10 seconds. Modification for that, because as I said, not everyone's a jumper, is you can do a reverse lunge for 10 seconds. So just to remind you guys, you did forward lunges for 30, And then instead of jump lunges, you can just do reverse lunges for 10. Same principle. You still want those 90 degrees in both your knees. Cool. So 3 more exercises to go, and then we've covered all the exercises. All right, so next one is a high plank. So keep your shoulder blades tight. Shoulder blades tight. Abs tight. Tuck your tailbone. Squeeze your shoulder blades and hold. A couple of key points. Don't forget to breathe. Tuck your tailbone again. So what I mean by tucking your tailbone is you want to rotate your pelvis posteriorly, and that helps you from arching your back. I'll save that discussion for another day, but basically just don't arch your lower back. So you're going to do 30 seconds of those, high plank. Once again, active recovery. Then we're going to do jumping jacks. Sorry, I have a battery pack, but essentially, we've all seen these in videos or done them before in gym class. I think you guys should know those. If not, start in a start position, and then come to straight up and down. And we're just doing this to get your heart rate up again. You can do this one at a medium pace if you need a recovery, but if you want to really step it up a notch, just go big, hard, and fast for those, and you'll definitely get your heart rate up. The last one of this set is mountain climbers. So mountain climber is like a high plank, and then you bring your knee up and back, and as you get more comfortable, you do it in a faster position. So, big mistake I see people do when they first start is they'll have both their weight on both their feet, and they'll kind of stomp around. We don't want to do that. First of all, it creates a lot of tension on your knees and puts a lot of impact on your lower body. Also, this way you get a better core workout because you're only having 3 points of contact on the ground. It can be a little bit more challenging, but you'll get more benefit from it. So I was just demoing those and I'm sweating and working hard. So you guys are gonna have a good time with that one. So just to remind you guys, we're doing 9 exercises after a warm up, and we're gonna go through that cycle once. So we did bodyweight squats for 30 seconds, jump squats for 10, push-ups for 30 seconds, the YTW stretch for 30, forward lunge for 30, jump lunge for 10, high plank for 30, jump jack for 30, and mountain climbers for 30. This would be a good opportunity. You can take a break, and then you're gonna go through that one more time. And then you're done. So hopefully you caught that, and thanks for watching.